Every single night she looked into the mirror and saw a face that wasn't hers staring back. Welcome back into the shadows. I am the Midnight Shadow. Tonight I'm going to tell you a story that gets under your skin slowly. It's quiet. It's intimate. And it might make you afraid to look at your own reflection when the video ends. This is a story about identity, about control, and about what happens when the person in the mirror stops pretending to be you. Turn off the lights if you dare, and listen very carefully.
My name is Emily. I'm 27 years old. I've always lived alone in a small apartment in Seattle. Nothing unusual, normal life, normal routines. It started 3 months ago, in the middle of January. At first, it was so small that I thought I was imagining it. I would be washing my face and notice that my reflection moved just a fraction of a second after I did. Like there was a tiny delay. I blinked. My reflection blinked half a second later. I smiled. My reflection smiled a little too late. I told myself it was just tired eyes or bad lighting in the bathroom. I even changed the bulb. It didn't help. Then it got worse. One night I was brushing my teeth. I smiled at myself in the mirror. You know, that stupid, tired smile you make when you're alone. My reflection smiled back, but the corners of its mouth went higher than mine. It looked wrong, unnatural. I stopped brushing and just stared. The reflection kept smiling for 2 full seconds after I stopped. That was the first night I felt real fear. From that moment, everything started escalating. I began testing it every night. I would raise my left hand. My reflection would sometimes raise the right hand first, then correct itself. I would turn my head left. It would turn right. Sometimes it would blink one extra time. I started recording it on my phone. The first few recordings showed nothing strange. But one night, I set the phone on a tripod and stood completely still for 2 minutes, just staring. On the recording, my reflection slowly tilted its head to the side while I stood frozen. I watched that video 10 times. I wasn't moving, but my reflection was. The next morning, the video had disappeared from my phone, completely gone, no trace. I started sleeping with the lights on, but the mirror was still there. 2 weeks later, it got personal. I woke up at 3:12 a.m., thirsty. I went to the bathroom without turning on the big light, only the small one above the sink. I looked in the mirror. My reflection wasn't copying me anymore. It was crying. Tears were running down its face. While I stood there with a dry face, confused, I touched my cheek. It was dry. My reflection's cheek was wet. That night, I covered the mirror with a towel. The next morning, the towel was on the floor, and my reflection was smiling at me while I looked terrified. Last week, it crossed another line. I came home from work, exhausted. I stood in front of the mirror to take off my makeup. My reflection didn't move at all for almost 10 seconds. Then it slowly raised its hand and placed its palm against the inside of the mirror, right opposite my face. It whispered something. I couldn't hear the sound, but I could clearly read its lips. It said, "Soon, I'm coming out." I haven't slept properly since that night. Now, every time I walk past a mirror or any reflective surface, a window at night, a phone screen, even a kettle, I feel it. I feel it watching me. And yesterday, I woke up at 3:33 a.m. again. I didn't want to, but something pulled me to the bathroom. I stood in front of the mirror. My reflection wasn't there. Instead, there was a girl who looked exactly like me. But it wasn't me. Her eyes were darker, her skin was paler, and she was smiling. She raised her hand and pressed it against the glass. Then she leaned in close and whispered clearly, "I've been practicing your life for 3 months. I think I'm ready now." I ran out of the bathroom. When I came back 10 minutes later, my reflection was back to normal. But I know it's only pretending. And I don't know how much longer it will keep pretending.
Some reflections get tired of being copies. Thank you for listening to Emily's story. If this one made you uncomfortable, leave a like. Tell me in the comments. Have you ever felt like your reflection was watching you a little too closely? In the next video, I will tell you the story of the man who started receiving letters from his own future. Subscribe to the Midnight Shadow and turn on notifications, because sometimes the scariest thing isn't what's hiding in the dark, it's what's been hiding inside your own home.